Yo, one everyone, Sanjae Uchiha here. Before we get into today's topic, I just wanted to say thanks to the recent subscribers and returning subscribers as well. Recently hit 1600 subs, so yeah, respect in all aspects. Hopefully we can have some fun going forward with, whatever miscellaneous madness I decide to put up on this channel. So yeah, respect. Again, thanks. So with today's video, or tonight's video, I really am coming at it from the point of view or the perspective of just simply discussion and putting this, these thoughts out into the universe for you guys to, talk about, or for us to talk about essentially. And that is the topic of Naruto versus Kishimoto, or Kishimoto versus Naruto, whichever order I decide to put it in. And what I mean by this title, at least, it's in regards to the recent quote-unquote nerfs that Naruto Uzumaki as a character has had within the Boruto era. Of course, spoilers, but I mean, most of you must know by now, especially if you're subscribed to this channel, that Naruto has lost the Ninetales Kurama more recently in the Boruto anime, and of course he had lost it in the manga from last year. So this isn't new news, it isn't fresh or anything like that. But going forward, when it comes on to handling Naruto Uzumaki as a character from a combat standpoint, the audience, it's in universe and as the audience out, like in the real world, obviously. A lot of persons are wondering how Naruto is going to function as a fighter. They're interested in seeing how he's going to operate. And the thing is that I actually wanted to kind of spark a discussion on, to probably to potentially not get our hopes up on one side of the coin, is that there is two considerations you have to look at it from, and it's from a lore standpoint and author intent, hence why I say Naruto versus Kishimoto. Because when it comes on to discussing Naruto's powers, like post losing Kurama, a lot of us in the audience, for lack of a better term, we, in terms of power scaling, we still have Naruto on a pedestal. Of course, there are things like siege mode, there are things like 6-path siege mode when it comes on to whatever amount of chakra he has left from Hagoromo. I mean, we had statements back in Shippuden about Naruto having 4 times the amount of chakra that Kakashi has in just without the Ninetales. And of course, over the course of 15, 16, 17 years since then, obviously that has increased. So from a lore standpoint, of course, Naruto is still pretty competent. And a lot of us actually consider him to still be the strongest Kage in the modern era, which honestly I would agree with. But the thing is that I want to compare it to is the author intent from Kishimoto's standpoint, because like the annoying thing I find when it comes on to sometimes watching anime, and I'm probably going to draw for Dragon Ball Super as a as an example, which may or may not be a good example, but just bear with me, please. So a lot of times a character should be able to do this, and this based on the lore that an author may have built up about the character, but at the same time, based on the, I guess, plot or the intent the overall plan they have in portraying that character going forward in the story, the author might not make the character do X, Y, or Z based off the lore that they themselves may have built up. And the thing is, going further and further into Boruto, the thing at the end of the day, it's Boruto's story, and the more we go along, the more Boruto is going to come to prominence and be the central person that should be, by right, should be carrying the story, because this is his section of the franchise, right? And a lot of persons have said Naruto and Sasuke have been nerfed from the beginning of Boruto, and for all intents and purposes, things have happened in the story to essentially ensure that, whether it be the lack of them using certain moves, the choreography in certain cases, and of course more pronounced or more recently the loss of Sasuke's Rinnegan and Naruto's, well, and the loss of Kurama. So the thing is, and especially even taking chapter 63 into consideration, I think that's another another thing on the minds of persons, because we have Naruto still in the village and we haven't seen him, you know, try to jump out and potentially go out and fight Code. And I think some persons might be saying, okay, Kishimoto might be holding off and having Naruto jump out there. I mean, there's some logical ways to look at it too. As a leader, he might just not want to just jump at the gun like that. So there's that to consider too. But I'm just saying is that a lot of things, we are dying to see how Kishimoto is going to handle it, but at the same time, I'm kind of concerned that Kishimoto might have author's intent. There's a certain intent in how he's going to portray Naruto going forward from a combat perspective, and that we potentially, probably, despite the lore that's been built up with Naruto, maybe we shouldn't be getting our hopes up in how Kishimoto might portray him. Now, I personally hope that, you know, he portrays Naruto like how he should be, based on what we know about Naruto right now. And in an era where there's science and technology, hopefully they continue to mesh the whole traditional means of being a ninja with this new technology, and do that not only for the character of Boruto Uzumaki, but Naruto as well, to keep him, you know, prominent and, you know, still relevant to the story, even though we know he's going to be slowly phased out. So yeah, but just for example's sake, like comparing this to, like, say, Dragon Ball Super, right, where, for example, okay, Goku doesn't have to, like, based on the everything that's built up to Dragon Ball Super, okay, Goku doesn't have to go Super Saiyan Blue to, you know, do a Kamehameha clash with with Krillin. But I guess the writers for that episode, the intent is to, even if there's a justifiable reason, which I still have a problem with that, they still let Goku do that. They still say, okay, let's let him go blue. Tournament of Power, Jiren, based on how you scale the tournament, Jiren could have probably finished the entire tournament in 5 minutes, but instead, plots. The intent is to draw this thing out. So, to be honest, I'm not sure if those are good examples, but I think you guys can follow along with what I'm trying to put across. That despite the lore and everything that's built up with Naruto Uzumaki as a character, based on the intent and flow of the Boruto story, as we go from month to month, there's a good chance that Naruto Uzumaki, as portrayed by Kishimoto going forward, might not be the Naruto Uzumaki that aligns with the lore that Kishimoto himself has built up with him, unfortunately. Because no matter how you slice and dice it, even when it comes on to, you know, Boruto before this, up to this point, when it comes on to the writers, whether it be Kishimoto, whether it be Kodachi, whether it be the anime studio or staff in some instances, I know some persons probably would say, yeah, Naruto and Sasuke, they aren't being portrayed from a combat standpoint like how, you know, they should, you know. And, you know, in some cases there's some justifiable reasons why they haven't, but, you know, I think it would be wrong to say that in 100% of the cases that there are, you know, logical reasons why they aren't, you know, portrayed how they should be according to lore. So that's really and truly what I'm saying at the end of the day. And I just wanted to kind of put this discussion, kind of express the nuance in, you know, when it comes down to the future of the Boruto manga and anime, when it comes down to Naruto Uzumaki. Because again, especially with the recent episode of Boruto, where even when it comes down to the characters emphasizing that, yo, Naruto doesn't have the Nine Tails anymore, or Naruto himself saying, yo, my reputation as Hokage is going to be ruined, when we know from a lore standpoint, from a power standpoint, Naruto is still highly competent as a fighter. But it's like, even the portrayal in the writing right now, especially with the recent episode, it kind of seems like it's hammering home this author intent in terms of how they plan to portray Naruto going forward without Kurama. So again, it's just something kind of just came to mind, taking into consideration all of that, and I wanted to kind of discuss it with you guys and, you know, let me know what you think. Just, yeah. So yeah, but anyway, let me know what you guys think in terms of my thoughts here. I just wanted to kind of discuss it, see what you guys thought. Is it a cause or concern when it comes down to how Naruto legitimately is when it comes on to the lore versus you know, how our potential concerns in terms of how Kishimoto is going to portray him, or am I just thinking too deep about this? So anyway, Sanjae Uchiha, thanks for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. It's Friday, the start of the weekend, so you know, just put your feet up, chill, and you know, grab some popcorn. I don't know, something. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Shout out to the subscribers again, naturally. And if you're new here, definitely subscribe, leave a like. You know, it's free. I'm rambling on too long though. See you guys in the next Boruto video.